Hello, my name's Andrew. I'd like to give you a little tutorial on how to move around in FirstStage. It's a beautiful day and I'm standing in one of our free suburban sets that you can get with the software. Anybody who's used to VR will be used to the teleportation. We have that in FirstStage. There's a setting on the radial menus. You can choose for left or right hands. I've got it on the left, and if I press the trigger where I'm pointing, I will jump over there. I could do this, as I said, with left or right hands. There are other ways actually to move. We did 4 years of research into natural user interfaces, and one of the ways that they discovered was a good way to do it, which gave people a bit of control, was to pull on an invisible rope. So using these side buttons here, halfway down the controller, which you grip with your large middle finger, you just grip it and pull. And I can do that hand over hand like this. Just as I can go forward, I can go backwards. And just as I can go forwards and backwards, I can, of course, go sideways. And just as I go sideways, I can theoretically do this and move myself quite nicely round in little circles around objects I'm looking at, very accurately and very quickly. Of course, if I can move horizontally, I should be able to move vertically. So if I hold my controller up above me, grip the controller and pull, I go up into the air. It dims down, of course, that to make sure that anybody who suffers from a bit of vertigo doesn't get too queasy. And of course, I can still move around in this area, so I could go over here and I could do some work on this telegraph pole. If I don't like being up here and I want to get back down to ground on the thumb pad on the left controller, I'm able to press the 1-to-1 and I'm back down on the ground. This is very useful sometimes because when you move in non-flat terrain and moving horizontally, you might notice that I'm slowly going into the ground. So I can reset that by just lifting myself up whenever I want to. Just as you can use one controller to do these sorts of things, so you can use both controllers to actually rotate the world, for example. So if I grip both of them together and I move them in a anti-clockwise or a clockwise direction, I can rotate my orientation. This is quite useful aligning your space with the virtual space so that you know where your room edges are and you can move around, walk around them quite easily. Similarly, I can use both of them to scale myself. If I hold my controllers down and grip them and then lift up, I become a lot larger. Now this is very interesting because now my movements when I do this are much larger because I am proportionally much larger. I'm probably about 50 foot or so high. So I'm moving 10 times the distance when I move my arm around to do this sort of thing. And just, of course, I'll go back down to 1-to-1. As I can go and do that, I can also make myself very small. If I go under this bush, I can do a little bit of sort of Land of the Giants type experience or paint some detail or whatever I want to do. And wherever I'm happy, I can just go back to 1-to-1. So that's it. That is how to move around in FirstStage. Thank you.